All right, here with our summer snapshot review number 2. I'm hanging with Emma, who was kind enough to join us today. Emma, how are you, dear?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell me about summer. Tell us about summer. What have you been up to for fun? And then, we'll talk about some other things too. What have you been doing for summer?
Mostly just been hanging out with friends and taking the time to relax.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, one other really exciting thing, but I'm sure you're also going to be stressed about it all year long, and that is you are the yearbook editor. What are you feeling about that? What can we expect from the yearbook this year? Tell us about how you're feeling about yearbook so far.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited. This summer, I would like to have everything planned out and everything ready for this year's yearbook. So the templates and the theme and everything like that. So it's good to go. So
Mhm.
that also I've been spending a lot of my summer just planning the yearbook for this year.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Again, I need to be in 10 pages, make that
Yeah, I'll
happen.
make sure you're in a lot of
Yeah,
pages.
cool. All right. So today we're talking a little GloPo again over the summer, just trying to give some refreshers on some terms, some concepts, some different things that folks have studied. So we're going to talk about your extension task today and, give some information to people who maybe want to use that as a case study of their own. And actually, spoiler alert, we are going to do this in our peace and conflict unit. So this is a perfect opportunity to chat. So Emma, tell everyone what you chose for your extension task, and also tell us which of the global challenges it represents.
So my extension task was on the Rohingya Genocide, or just the displacement of the Rohingya people in general, and the global challenge was borders. And so basically, in the state called Myanmar or Burma, it depends, it's the same state. There's an ethnic group in the Rakhine state, which is in northern Myanmar, and basically they are Muslim, and the government of Myanmar, they're an extremist government, and they really push their beliefs in everybody. And because these Muslims are minorities, they are being forced out of their homes and externally and internally displaced. And they've just had a lot of their rights violated. So it raises the question of whose state is it? Does it belong to the Rohingya people or the Burmese people?
All right,
Um,
so talk us through there's a lot of folks out there who they may have heard of this, but they don't quite know what's going on. So talk to us kind of what's at stake here in this conflict, who are the actors involved, and why is there this conflict that is taking place both as a human rights issue and then again in terms of borders and the movement of people. Talk to us about that.
So basically, the Buddhist majority in the state believe that the Rohingya who are Muslim do not belong, and that they don't have the right to be citizens, even though the Rohingya believe that they are native to the state. And that is the big issue.
Mm-hmm.
And because the state of Myanmar, their government it has a big centralized Buddhist view that controls a lot of their policies and laws and legislative actions that they pass. And so a lot of these are persecuting the Muslims, and that leads to a lot of violations of human rights.
Okay, so what did you focus on? Talk to us about the border situation. So it sounds like you talked about the conflict and the violence from Buddhists against the Rohingya, and that's forcing them to kind of seek refuge in other states. Talk to us about that.
So the policies that led to the mass migration of the Rohingya people, and so it's created a lot of refugee camps in neighboring countries. The main one is Bangladesh, and a lot of the Bangladeshi government has taken in a ton of refugees, and this kind of highlights the issue of how is Bangladesh's borders, are they being violated because it's just so easy for these Rohingya refugees to come into the state.
It's when you commit human rights violations, it can be argued that your legitimacy goes down for sure, right? So all right, so I'm glad you brought up legitimacy. Talk to us about some other GloPo terms that you focused on in your extension task presentation.
So I would say that the rights of the people are big. So first generation, second generation, and third generation. So the first generation rights, freedom of religion, obviously that is probably the main one. second generation rights are the economic rights. So I would say that a lot of the Rohingya people, they can't even like legally buy a house or anything like that. And then third generation rights would be like their houses are being burned down, their cities are being burnt down, and obviously that's pollution to the environment and just the environment around them. So that's a big violation of their third generation rights.
and
And then
and the fact that they don't have
they don't have it.
like peace, right? Like
Yeah.
a third generation right to peace, kind of as a community. What about theories, the GloPo theories? What did you focus on in terms of
So
GloPo theories?
I focused on liberalism,
Okay.
and so liberalism is probably going to be applied to Bangladesh because the government has been so open and welcoming all these refugees, and so they're advocating for humanitarian intervention and they're protecting the human rights of the Rohingya people. And also, I would say that a lot of the states, other states like neighboring states or just states in general, who have been vocal about criticizing the Burmese government also have a liberalist view because they agree that the government should be taking action and that these violations are really real, and that kind of delegitimizes the Burmese government.
Yeah. What about could you say something about universalism as well, right? When we talk about the access to human rights that the Rohingya want. So could you frame this as like a universalist situation too, right?
Yeah, I would say that people who have a universalist view would say that the human rights should be like upheld for everybody, including the Rohingya people, regardless of their nationality, race, ethnicity, like religion. And so I think that the Rohingya have a universalist view, and a lot of people, like the liberalist states, they also have a universalist view, but the Burmese government does not have a universalist view.
Awesome. Okay. Um, Emma, that's it. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah. Emma, you're the best. Thanks for making time for me over your summer vacation. I'm really excited to see you back at school in August, and I'm really excited for the yearbook. So have an amazing rest of your summer, and thanks so much for hanging out today.
thank you, you too.
All right. See you, Emma. Bye.